in listening to conversations we've had with the both think tank and that Senator Shaheen had with students at a university here, we got a broader range of the views of the people of Denmark. And in our purposeful and concrete conversations with parliamentary leaders, members of the cabinet and the Prime Minister, both Danish and Greenlandic, we had a chance to discuss the current moment and how we move forward in a constructive way. A few simple observations. There are no pressing security threats to Greenland, but we share real concern about Arctic security going forward. As the climate changes, as the sea ice retreats, as shipping routes change, there are legitimate reasons for us to explore ways to invest better in Arctic security broadly, both in the American Arctic and in our NATO partners and allies. Second is that we seek to find a way forward through this moment that reinforces the 225-year-old partnership and alliance between the people of the Kingdom of Denmark and the United States. And we return to Washington after this trip with a renewed passion for finding ways that we can engage that are respectful and constructive. It was made very clear to us, as it has been repeatedly over the years, that if the United States seeks to invest in partnership respectfully with the people of Greenland in accessing possibly newly available critical minerals or rare earths, that would be welcome, and that in partnership with the Kingdom of Denmark, if we wish to increase our investments in Arctic security, that would be welcome. One of the things that's been made clear to us is that the people of Denmark are very anxious, are quite concerned, and the people of Greenland even more so, and that this current tone and tempo of statements about acquisition is not constructive. I think I speak for every senator and House member here in that we deeply value NATO, and that this 80-year-old alliance, this partnership, has been absolutely critical to the United States' security and prosperity and success. There's been a great deal of very positive diplomacy between Danish representatives and Americans over the last couple of days, figuring out exactly what the right vehicle is. I think we should focus more on what is successful at de-escalating rhetoric and restoring a sense of trust between allies. If I could quote Soren Kierkegaard, and forgive me, faith sees best in the dark. This is a moment where our very positive relationships have dimmed a bit, and I hope that the people of the Kingdom of Denmark do not abandon their faith in the American people, in our fundamental goodness, in our respect for Denmark and for NATO and for all we've done together. The Americans who were deployed and served in Iraq and Afghanistan know better than anyone that Danes served alongside them in some of the hardest missions and in some of the most difficult places and did it honorably and well. And so you've already done the hard work. We simply need to remind our nation of that so that our ongoing conversations domestically within the United States, in members of Congress, and between the branches of our government are better informed by the facts.
Yesterday, President Trump suggested that tariffs would be the solution to the United States taking possession of Greenland. Mm-hmm. Is that realistic? And if he were to take steps in that direction, do you think the Congress would find a way to stand in the way of using tariffs as a cudgel in these negotiations?
Well, one of the lovely things, as you well know, is that our government has 3 branches, and I suspect the Supreme Court will be speaking to that point soon. Look, I think that the Constitution gives to Congress more of the power that is currently being exercised in tariffs, and in a way that is perhaps novel in modern history. And I think since this is an issue directly before the court, we'll see what the Supreme Court has to say as to whether the use of tariffs as a tool against close and trusted allies to try and achieve a strategic objective is really the wisest and most available.
Jelajahi cara baru mendapatkan informasi. Download Metro TV Extend sekarang.